What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm out here in Vancouver for a few weeks and I found out that the first Cars and Coffee of 2026 is happening while I'm here. So of course, I couldn't resist to check out what the local car scene had to offer here. Now, if you know anything about Vancouver weather, you never know what to expect. But honestly, that just made it more interesting. I pulled up early, like super early. Barely anyone was there, but that's kind of the best part. Watching the lot go from empty to packed and hearing the cars roll in, it's usually pretty entertaining. And this one didn't disappoint. Right away, one of the first cars that caught my eye was this old school Mercedes S-Class sitting on monoblock wheels. There's just something about a clean Benz on monoblocks that hits different. Next came in this very loud Porsche Cayman GT4 with what appeared to be some aftermarket track-focused mods, which looked pretty cool. And speaking of mid-engine Porsches, there was another very brightly spec'd Spider RS that also rolled in too. It was definitely safe to say that there were a lot of Porsches there. They ranged from all generations, from anything new like the 992 GT3s and even the more recent GT4 RSs, to older generations like the 997s, 996s, and even the 993s. Which led me to the next car, which was absolutely insane. This Porsche 993 Turbo was modernized, and when I say modernized, I mean someone took one of the most iconic silhouettes in automotive history and just elevated it. Updated touches, but still unmistakably a 993. That's the kind of build that makes you stop and stare for a minute. What I loved about this car meet is the variety of cars here. From K-trucks from Japan to McLaren 720Ss, to even some really cool Mercedes like this Mercedes C63 wagon, which I really hope to own one day myself. The ferocious roar of the 6.2-liter V8 is just one of the best, I find. Let me know in the comments below, which generation C63 is your favorite? Or would you rather have a 4-door M3 instead? To me, those were really the golden era of V8 saloons. Another thing I really appreciated about this car meet was just the location. The backdrop that you could see behind these cars were just absolutely stunning. Also, the fitment on some of these cars like this M3 was absolutely sick. Walking through the rows, I spotted this E90 M3 in Interlagos blue, and if you know, you know. That color on an E90 is so special to me. It's one of those spec combinations that BMW just nailed. So after spending the morning at Cars and Coffee, I linked up with my boy, that golden turbo, fellow Montrealer, also out here in Vancouver. Two car guys from Montreal on the west coast? You already know what time it is. We had a photo shoot lined up with an Imola Red E46 M3. And trust me, this thing was worth the drive. So the plan was to start in Spanish Banks and cruise all the way to Horseshoe Bay in West Vancouver. And the drive out there, unreal. You've got the water on the side, mountains on the other, and this Imola Red just cutting through all of it. We were also accompanied by a BMW Z3M, also known as a clown shoe. This particular one has the S54 engine, which is the same one that the M3 has. It was pretty cool to see them side by side. Now, this E46, it's been modified to sit on BBS LMs, and not just any BBS LMs, we're talking about wide, aggressive fitment. On an Imola Red M3, that combo is borderline unfair. The E46 is already one of the best M cars BMW ever made, and then you throw these on? Come on. We pulled into Horseshoe Bay, grabbed some donuts, because what's a car shoot without a food stop? And then found this cool spot in what seemed to be an alleyway with the sun hitting just right to get some static shots. The weather was absolutely gorgeous with clear blue skies and not a cloud in sight. Couldn't have asked for better for our photo shoot. Now there's something about an M3 just sitting still that just works. The proportions, the lines, it doesn't need to be moving to look good. And that red against the gray background, natural contrast, didn't even have to try. On the inside of the car, the owner tastefully added a couple of Recaro Classic pole positions with the checkered cushion, which I thought suited it very well. I'm sure that there are a bunch of other modifications on this car that I'm not aware of, but I'll be linking the owner's handle in the description below. Huge shout out to him for letting us use his car as our model for the day. Here are a couple pictures that I took at the first location. Honestly, quite happy with how they turned out. From there, we made our way towards North Vancouver, which is a more industrial area. After cruising around, we found this overpass that had the kind of raw, gritty backdrop where the lighting complemented the shadows really well. It was the perfect place to end our photo shoot. And honestly, that ended up being my favorite location for the day. There's no trees, no ocean or scenic views, just concrete, steel, and a red M3. Sometimes simple is all you need. And the pictures, they turned out great. We ended our shoot with a couple of quick pics of the clown shoe for good measure, and they also came out pretty cool. So that wraps up my experience in the Vancouver car scene and the first Cars and Coffee of the year, paired with a full day of shooting one of my favorite M cars ever made. Not a bad way to spend a day in the West Coast. If you're new here, I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe for the next one. Cheers.